This program was made possible in part by...
Family traditions are never more important than when families gather around the dinner table to celebrate special occasions. Farm families of Mississippi share the bounty of the harvest with families throughout the state and even the nation. Chances are that your gatherings include delicious sweet corn, baked sweet potatoes, and a rich golden pecan pie. Buy Mississippi-grown products. It's good for your family and it's good for Mississippi. The Farm Families of Mississippi.
Mississippi Seafood Marketing, a division of the Department of Marine Resources. From our waters to your table. Fresh, local, healthy. Information available at dmr.ms.gov.
Well, hi, I'm Chef Rob Stinson, and this is Fit to Eat, a new series about eating healthy and living better. Mississippi is at the bottom of national studies in health and nutrition. Diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, and obesity run rampant in our great state. Well, I'm here to demonstrate how little changes in diet can make a big difference in health. And making those changes doesn't mean you have to sacrifice flavor to get rid of fat. Taking fresh, local ingredients, I'm going to teach you to make meals that are healthy and delicious without spending a fortune. And as always, you can find my recipes with all the nutritional information on our website, mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat. Now, I've told you before what a huge part poultry plays in Mississippi's agricultural industry. But did you know that Mississippi commercial laying hens produce around 1.5 billion eggs a year? Now, I love a good omelet, so today we're making my Mississippi homegrown omelet, and everything that is in this omelet, a vegetarian omelet I might add, is from a local farmer's market or store. You really need to try and find things that you can buy that basically you can get in a local market. So enjoy that. You know, you can have a lot of fun with it. And what I'm going to do right now, we're going to actually get a cutting board set up, and we're going to be taking a little time to show you how to make some beautiful potato pancakes. All right, potato pancakes, correct? But to do them without frying them, because that's the biggest part when you really look at the nutritional breakdown of our cooking in Mississippi. We take too much and put it in fried. You know, we either fry it in fryers, fry it in a pan, and what we're going to try and do today is show you you can bake, you can do other options, you can use less oil, less fat, and have a great meal that I believe will show you flavor isn't dead. So, all right, what do you do? What do you do? Well, obviously, you get a great potato, something that's nice and firm. I leave the skin on. Now, I've washed this, as you can see. There's no dirt on this. You don't obviously want to eat anything like that. But the skin has got so much nutrients. So try not to actually peel them if you can get used to it, because that's really the best part. Now, what do I have here? Let's take a look at this. Down below, I've got the pan that I'm going to actually grease to put the potato pancakes in the oven. This is a separate bowl and colander. Why? When you shred a potato, there's a lot of natural moisture, water in the potato. So take that, and on the shredder, just go back and forth. And you're getting it through the fine hole. All right, when you see these shredders in stores, and I'll bet just about all of you have one at home or you know where you can get one, you want to try and do it in the small hole on the side, not these big grates, because it'll cook more evenly if you can do it and grate it finer. I'm going to show you just in a second how simple it is, and you've got beautiful, fresh potato. Let's take a quick peek in here, and you can see it. You know, just beautiful, light potato that we're going to take and mix. And at this point in time, what I want to do, we're going to kind of move all this to the side. Take our potato. I've already shredded quite a bit right here. And we're going to place that into our bowl. We're going to mix with it a little bit of diced onion to give it some added flavor. All right, I use gluten-free flour whenever I can. There's so many people out there that are finding they've got reactions to gluten. And to me, it's as easy to use as any other flour. And you notice it's got a different color to it. We're putting in there about 1 teaspoon of flour. Not a lot at all, all right? And then we're actually going to throw in, yeah, a little bit of fun, a little bit of flavor, cayenne pepper. All right, everybody knows cayenne pepper is a dangerous, dangerous element because it's so spicy. But this really gives the potato pancake a great flavor, and that's about 1/4 of a teaspoon. You can put more in there, it's up to you. You know, it depends really how spicy you like your food. What we're gonna do at this point, we're gonna add in 1 egg yolk. So we've got 4 eggs that we're actually going to use to make our omelet. We're going to show you now, this is a tough one for some of you out there, that you don't have to have whole eggs, and I love eggs. But if you really want to try and use a little bit more of the egg white than the whole egg, it actually helps in the long run. So let's separate this out. On this side, I'm going to keep my egg white. And on the other side, the egg yolk. But in this case, since we're not going to use that egg yolk, it's going into our potato pancake mix. Now, let's stir this up. And as you're mixing, you want to get this nice and consistent in the way that it's mixed. And I tell you why. Because as you look at this, if you don't mix that cayenne pepper in really good, and you get a big bite of it, you'll know it. I think that's half the fun, though, of adding spice to food. You know, I love it. I love it. And again, you know, some of the details in this, if you really want to get the bottom line, go to the website, mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat. Simple, huh? All right, now, these look great. What we're going to do is take and grease our pan. And you say, well, what does that mean? I've got margarine, a great light margarine. I take a little towel, and all I'm doing now is very lightly spreading that. You see how that goes? So easy to take that, and I put virtually none on there. It's such a small amount that you don't have a problem with it. So now you've got a beautiful greased pan ready. So let's go ahead and take, and this is actually going to be enough to make 2 potato pancakes. You can decide how decadent you're going to be, whether you eat them both or not. And, you know, we were talking, the nutritional breakdown is going to really help you decide what you want to eat on each meal. But this meal is loaded with protein because eggs are so good for you. So you basically at this point ready. Now you're going to have to walk with me because we're going to head over to the oven, and I'm going to actually place these in a preheated oven. Make sure it's turned to 400 degrees. And then we're going to bake them in that oven for roughly about 10 minutes, then turn them over. And when we turn them over, we're going to crisp them on the opposite side, and they'll be ready. So, sounds too easy to believe. It's really that simple. All right, we're going to have more fun with you right now because what we're going to actually do is show you how simple it is to smoke your own product. And by that, I'm talking about smoked turkey strips. And you're thinking to yourself, well, there's nothing easy about smoking. There really is. So let's take a look at this, and that's why I've got the cutting board here. I love roasting real turkey. That turkey breast was cut off of a whole turkey that I cooked. I use every bit of the turkey. I'll use the dark meat for the people who can actually enjoy it a little bit more, my kids, because they're both skinny. I'll take the turkey breast. I save that for me because I love it. It's healthy. It's light. And what we did is we took this great turkey breast and literally just sliced these pieces directly off of it. All right, now these pieces, and you got to follow me on this, we're going to take and put into our homemade smoker. So all this really is a large roasting pan that I have on the oven, and we're going to take our turkey pieces, and I'm going to bring this right under the camera in a moment so you can actually see how it looks from above. And I think when you see it, you'll realize how simple this is and that you could do this at home. So let's take this board, get it out the way. Now we're going to move this smoker right here so everybody at home can kind of take a great view at what we're talking about. So you see in the corner, the far corner, you've got the mesquite chips. On this raised grill, you have your turkey. And you do it on a raised grill so it'll smoke it underneath and on top, okay? It's really easy and it's so quick. So then you cover it. And remember now, those mesquite chips are in the front of the pan. You're going to take this, place it to where those chips are actually right over the burner that we're turning on. I loved it. I love this style. You can do this with fish. We have a restaurant where we actually smoke salmon that way. And when we smoke salmon that way, we cook it exactly 6 minutes. And it's not actually cooking the fish. All it's really doing is smoking the exterior of a beautiful salmon loin, and in this case, turkey. Sounds too easy? I'm telling you, it is that easy. And watch, we're not going to follow through on this and do the entire smoking process because I might have to call the fire department. This will create a lot of smoke. So what would I do at home? When I finish it and I've got it ready and I know it's cooked 6 minutes, then I'll actually take it, I'll walk right to the door, I open, let the smoke go outside, put the top back on, and you're done. And you've got one pan that I use in my house, and that's all I use it for. So, and you can already see that smoke has already started. I'm going to let it go for maybe a minute just so you kind of get the feel for it. But it's such a simple thing to do, and I really love using that style. So what do we end up with? When it's all said and done, you end up with some beautiful smoked turkey strips. All right? Now, that may not sound like a lot, but when you think about the difference, if you're eating breakfast and you're using turkey instead of bacon, I love bacon, and I use it in a lot of recipes. I don't think there's anything wrong with it if it's used in moderation. So the key is, you know, we've got a lot of great farms in this state. Between our pig farms, our chicken farms, all the production we have that we've been talking about with these eggs we're using today, always want to try and focus on supporting your local merchants. But when you're eating healthy, this is a neat way to do it as a breakfast-style meal without all the pork. So just a thought. All right, now, I'm actually going to take this smoker, move it over to the side. It's a little bit warm. Because I'm going to need this burner because we are actually getting ready to have a little fun and start most of our food going. And omelets are a little tricky. How do you flip an omelet? How do you get it to cook evenly? It's really a test to make sure that your pan isn't too hot. I'm going to do my turkey strips on the side. We're going to probably use, and actually I think I may take this bigger pan and make the gigantic omelet. You know, if you look at this with the egg whites that we're talking about using, here we go. One more egg white. One egg yolk we're not using. One more egg white. I know all of you can do this at home, right? Please tell me you can separate eggs. and then 1 entire egg. And you're like, well, why are we doing that? It's a great way to cut back a hair on your cholesterol. Now, let's have a little bit of fun again. All right, we just greased that baking pan, and it was a wonderful way to reduce the amount of fat in your food. Same thing. We got a nice hot skillet. And you notice this is a non-stick skillet. And the reason is when you are cooking with egg whites, they are more prone to stick than whole eggs. Whether you like it or not, it's a little bit trickier cooking egg whites. And hopefully, we're going to be able to pull this off without making too much of a mess. We shall see. Now, don't forget, all of these details that we're talking about, you can actually go to mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat, that's me, and get every bit of the details. And you know what's interesting? I want you to look. We've got this mixture now, and in that bowl is 1 egg yolk. 1 egg yolk, 3 egg whites, and yet, if you didn't know better, it'd be hard to tell. When it cooks, you'll see it's a little bit lighter color, has a little bit different flavor, but it's every bit as delicious. So, makes it really nice. All right, before we get started and get all this into the pan, you know what we're going to do? We got to go check our potato pancake, all right? So it's been about 10 minutes. We're going to bring and check. And I tell you what, it's already looking so good in there. I can tell that they've crisped. Let's see if we can actually, oh, and we can. Turn them over. And they've already got a nice little crust on this side. I put them back in the oven, and at this point, you turn the oven up as high as it goes, or to 500 in this case. Why? Because you know that it's warm inside. Now what we want to do is try to create on the outside a little bit of a crust. Because the one thing that I love when I have potato pancakes and they're fried is the crispness outside. So this is the time that you want to try and get that little bit of crust on the outside and bake. But you're going to find throughout the rest of the series, I'm going to take a lot of time to show you how you can bake instead of frying. We're going to actually do an entire baked chicken dish that is baked fried chicken. In other words, fried chicken without the oil. You're like, that's got to be impossible. You got to watch. You got to stay tuned. And don't forget, go to mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat. You can get all these recipes. So come on back over here. And we're going to actually get started. And you notice it's a non-skid spatula. Get the right tools. And I'm telling you, everything that I have here, you can pick up at your local superstore, and you can buy these, and honestly, there's nothing in here that's expensive. One of the goals that I started the show with in my mind was that everything that I do on this series has got to be both affordable and healthy. So I know we talked about that, but you know, let's make sure we're on board. All right, now we've got a nice hot skillet on this side that we're going to sear our turkey with. We're going to hold that off the heat for a minute. Move this pan in the middle, just in case we need it for the omelet. And at this point, where we're going with this is we're going to saute all the good stuff. Everything that goes in that omelet, I get excited about omelets because I love breakfast, but there's nothing better to me than eating it at night as a dinner. I don't care what anybody says. I've long since forgot worrying about what other people thought when it came down to what's normal as far as eating meals at specific times. We do a brunch that is just fabulous omelets, shrimp, crawfish, garlic, that you would never think of putting in eggs. So you don't have to be locked in. Be brave. All right, now, we're going to put a touch, and I'm talking right now, this is really not even a half a teaspoon of oil. And we're going to get started right now with garlic. Anyone who knows me from the Gulf Coast knows that I love to cook with garlic. Oh yeah, a little bit of red bell pepper and a little bit of green bell pepper. And at mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat, I have this recipe with purple peppers. You can get those sometimes during the year at your local farmer market. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to find them, so I substituted green. And remember, you got to be creative. When you're working on recipes like this, you don't actually have to stick to the exact items. So what do we have in there right now? We got our red, yellow, green bell peppers, garlic, onion, and we're throwing in a little green onion. And again, the recipe had serrano peppers I couldn't find, which are red, kind of hot chili peppers. I threw in some fine diced jalapenos. Gotta have that little kick of flavor, and I think it's really important as you prepare food to realize you gotta kind of keep yourself open in case products are not available. All right, now we're basically sauteing everything that's gonna go in the omelet. Our omelet pan that I'm gonna use, I'm going to move back into the forefront. I'm going to kick it on a little bit higher heat at this point. All right, now, just so we don't forget, you got to follow me back. Let's check on our pancakes. We don't want to forget them. And they can still keep going. Now I'm going to get really serious. And I'm going to actually put it on broil. I like to leave the oven door open when I put it on broil, because what broil does means it's heating from the top. And actually, you know, we're going to come right back. We'll be okay. All right, and now that we've got our pan nice and we've got it all oiled, I'm going to hit just a little touch. And actually put our eggs in. Tell you what, we're going to move it off the heat a hair. Looks nice and hot. And now, take all of our fun ingredients and we're going to spread them evenly on one half of the omelet. And I tell you what, it's got such incredible color. You're going to notice that I hid one ingredient over here, and that is our goat cheese. And I have got that goat cheese on the side because I want to be sure we can throw something on top that's really going to add some beautiful flavor. And I tell you what, that omelet is coming along great. We're going to let it brown a little bit more. Pop our pan on the side, back on the heat, and just a touch again. And this is even less, probably about a quarter teaspoon, and put our turkey strips in that pan. I wish you could smell. You know, the one thing TV doesn't have, we need to develop smell-o-vision so that you can actually get the aromas at home that I'm getting right now, because I can smell the garlic and all the flavors. All right, now you ready? Have a little fun here. We're going to basically take the omelet, kind of whittle it around, and then turn it over. Ah, it came out looking great. I think this will look wonderful on a black plate. This is when I take my goat cheese, put a little bit on top of that omelet, because it's got such great, great flavor, but it also looks so good on top. And go over on this side, and let's just do this with tongs. I can easily get it. Turn these turkey strips over. Oh, and the aroma of that mesquite in this pan is incredible. I mean, this actually looks fantastic. All right, now, what did I tell you? don't forget about your potato pancakes. So, we're going to head directly over, and I tell you what, they're perfect. They are perfect. We're going to set them right here in the middle because that pan's going to be warm. Set that down below. And guys, I tell you what, are you ready? I am. We're going to take this incredible omelet, and I mean, look at the size, and it's healthy, and it's loaded with great stuff. We're going to take these beautiful potato pancakes. One or two. What kind of mood are you in? You've been good this week. Let's go ahead and put them both on there. And I'm going to actually grab these turkey strips, kind of fan them off to the side. And I mean, who would have thought that you could have a meal with all that flavor and be eating something so incredibly healthy that you don't have to feel guilty? And, you know, I think it's only missing one thing. I'm going to have a little bit of fun. Take a little bit of fresh green onions that are cut so pretty, just to give it a little bit of pizzazz and color. Add that on top, and tell you what, can you believe you could have 4 eggs with 1 yolk, come out looking that beautiful with all of that beautiful vegetable inside, 2 potato pancakes, and I tell you what, beautiful turkey strips. So remember, you can find all my recipes with the nutritional information on our website, mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat. I'm Chef Rob Stinson. Thanks for watching Fit to Eat.
This program was made possible in part by
Family traditions are never more important than when families gather around the dinner table to celebrate special occasions. Farm families of Mississippi share the bounty of the harvest with families throughout the state and even the nation. Chances are that your gatherings include delicious sweet corn, baked sweet potatoes, and a rich golden pecan pie. Buy Mississippi-grown products. It's good for your family, and it's good for Mississippi. The Farm Families of Mississippi.
support for Fit to Eat comes from Mississippi Seafood Marketing, a division of the Department of Marine Resources. From our waters to your table, wild-caught Gulf fresh seafood is fresh, local, and healthy. Information at dmr.ms.gov.